Feminism deconstructs the path of homemaking, and much of this ideology is heavily embedded in our culture. Are you desiring to become a homemaker one day? That's wonderful. Well, I hope these suggestions will help steer you into the correct direction to becoming a homemaker in the near future. Here are 6 tips that can help you on your journey. Number 1, the first suggestion to becoming a homemaker is to have a change of heart. This is the most important thing. It's best to let go of the misconceptions, myths, and false notions about homemaking and housewives. Our modern day culture has more feminist ideals and paints homemaking as something as old-fashioned or being controlled and lack of freedom, and boring, no potential. The list goes on and on. Homemaking should be seen as complementary and contributes to society in significant ways, and most importantly, that it's very, very fulfilling. Feminism deconstructs the path of homemaking, and much of this ideology is heavily embedded in our culture. With change of heart comes change of mind. Pray for God to give you a new heart. Don't worry, the transformation can be life-changing. The second suggestion is to understand the purpose and role of homemaking. Understand God's design and will for women. If you think homemaking is about dressing up, following trendy decor, or pretending to live in a different time period, you might want to drop that belief immediately. Homemaking involves a lot of hard work, humility, sacrifice. Well, a lot of sacrifice with children, and a lot more of hard work. It's not best to rely on what culture says about homemaking, such as learning it through the lens of historical and vintage time periods. Homemaking is the wife's role of caretaking and nurturing her family as a priority. It includes managing the home and children, if it's possible to have children, of course. Homemaking ultimately glorifies God, and what's fascinating about homemaking is that it depicts a harmonious difference between man and woman. Homemaking isn't about being trendy or just decorating. Alright, so I have my never-ending list here on the refrigerator. I've done about 2 of these things so far on this list, so let's finish up. The third thing, number 3, if you desire to be a homemaker one day, is that you of course need to desire marriage. You will want to be married, of course. I highly encourage you to seek out a guy who's marriage-minded and understand his role within marriage. It's best to seek out a guy who desires homemaking as well, and this most likely will be in the conservative/Christian community. Be very selective of his character. Is he generally responsible? Is he ready to start a family? Is he able to provide? Does he understand his biblical role of husband and leader? Is he patient, loving, and kind? It's best to observe red flags with a clear mind and not have rose-colored glasses on, whatever that's called. Avoid boyfriends who don't want any type of commitment or just stringing you along. Also, avoid casual dating. These are time wasters that just lead to heartache anyway. When a guy wants to marry you, you will truly know. There won't be any guessing or any weird mind games like not responding back for weeks and months and dating on and off or dating other women. Marriage-minded men are much more intentional and value family creation. They will be ready to start a family, right? Should I make a more detailed video on what to look for in a man for marriage? Leave a comment below if you think this could help you. Number 4 on becoming a homemaker is to learn more about husband's role. Homemaking, of course, goes under husband's leadership. Learn more about providing, learn about husband's career paths, how does husband handle finances. Most women are more concerned that homemaking is restrictive and not equal, but do we also see what husbands have to go through in order to maintain the family as well? Caretaking happens in both roles for husband and wife, which creates a balance. The wife maintains the home under her husband's support, and her husband supports the home under the wife's maintenance of the home and children, if that makes sense. So the role between husband and wife is equal in value, but just different in responsibility and abilities. Number 5, the next suggestion is to practice homemaking. Yes, it is possible to practice homemaking if you are single, even though it's designated for a married woman, for her family. If you're single, you can still practice and get the hang of it, so you know what's really going to happen once you get married. You can start practicing by learning the skills of cleaning, cooking, recipes, baking, budgeting, and so much more. Trust me, this may all sound easy, but these areas require lots of learning and skills, like especially decluttering and organization. That's a huge thing that's going to really happen with homemaking, because of course you're managing a home with people inside of it, and it involves managing a lot of stuff. So you will most likely learn more about decluttering and organizing. Education and skills goes along with homemaking. There's lots to learn, a lot to learn. Number 6, last but not least, avoid debt as much as possible, such as overspending credit cards and getting out a bunch of student loan debt. It's true, many individuals can receive free schooling through scholarships or grants, but it may not be a guarantee for each person. Not everyone is going to have the opportunity to get scholarships and grants and free money to go to college or university. So you must take into account that the more debt and time spent away from home can interfere with making homemaking and children a priority. If you have a ton of student loan debt, you may have to work to pay back those loans. This can lead to finances going out the door instead of going into the home. Keep in mind that homemaking entails living simply, and it doesn't require so much hustle and bustle. Homemaking has plenty of flexibility and freedoms each day. You can set your own schedule and get things done on your own time. What's another suggestion you can think of when it comes to becoming a homemaker? Feel free to drop a comment below. This can definitely help other women who desire to be a housewife one day. Also, if you like this type of content, be sure to like and share this video so that way it reaches more women. Until next time, bye.